Okay. Hi everybody, Corey here from Tales from a Polk County Girl. This episode or video, I'm going to show you what I put together in terms of a knitting insert. If you follow my blog, I've started a monthly knits post where I just show you what I've been working on for the month, and I decided, since starting to use traveler's notebooks, I've had kind of a hard time trying to justify why I need to use these, what can I use them for, and the Facebook groups have been wonderful. They've sent me links to say, 50 uses for inserts in your traveler's notebooks, and all those posts. I know they're all over the place, and I'm sorry about the fan, you guys, if it's really bright. It is very hot in here. If my face looks very red, it's warm. So anyways, I decided to make one into my knitting insert, and I'm going to show you what I have in there, and maybe it will, for those of you that are crafters, fellow knitters, crocheters, tatters, cross stitch, whatever. If this helps you, great. If it doesn't, well, I hope you figure something out. Okay, this is the notebook I'm using. It is an OCS notebook, and I butchered the cutting job, you guys. There's the cover. These are the pages, and it looks like this on both sides. I'm really bad at cutting these things down. I just need to go to Staples. But the cover is a bunch of vintage cameras. I have another one like this. Alright, my first page is my table of contents. Hope that's coming in. I don't call it the index. I am a librarian. Indexes are in the back. Table of contents is in the front. So, and I also go by odd number first. So for me, table of contents isn't page 1. It's page I. Again, it's a librarian thing. So pages 1 to 2 will be notes for my temperature Afghan. Now, if you've never heard of this Afghan, you can Google it, and it's really cool. You keep track of temperatures for a specific amount of time, usually a year, and then every day you knit a row with whatever the peak temperature was, and it has a temperature gauge. I guess you could make your own, to be perfectly honest, depending on where you live. I thought this would be a really cute idea as a gift for a baby, for maybe just after their first birthday and everything. Wow, I'm just looking at my hair in the camera. I did brush it, I promise, but my hair just looks weird. A cute idea for a baby, from about the time baby was conceived, if you just keep track of what the temperature was all the way through birth and then first year of life. I think that would be, to me, that would be really cool. Or even if you wanted to do 9-month, just one for the pregnancy. I just thought that would be really cool. And a very sweet idea. Or in the blog post, I put ideas about, you can make it a lifetime project. But I would recommend using very small needles for this. And you just make a very big blanket over your lifetime, or maybe you want to do one for elementary school or middle school, high school, your college years, stuff like that, this is what the temperature range was like, and also, based on my blog name, my YouTube channel name, I am in Florida, so I know my blanket, if I were to do something like this, any type of project, it would have more red and orange in it than it would blues and purples. It doesn't get cold here too often. It doesn't get below 30 degrees here, even on our coldest days. And for those of you where it is regularly below 0, I feel for you. I'm so sorry. But I can't do that. That's why I live where it's warm. Pages 3 and 4 are, it's my list of Afghan, I call it Afghans to be made. I'm trying to block the light. I love making Afghans. They are like my favorite project. To me, they are, I know a lot of people make sweaters and hats and mittens to show love for people. And that's great. That's great. I'm not saying anything bad against knitting a sweater. Again, I'm in Florida. When would I wear this sweater? 2 days out of the year? But to me, a blanket would be nice because, you know, you don't have to worry about it not fitting a year later. You know, so 2 of them are started. The camo Frankie Brown 10-stitch blanket, I have a blog post about that one, and I'll put it in the description. I'll put the link to it in the description. My next one is my cotton scrap blanket, which I can't wait to start this one. I actually need to hurry up and just finish this one so I can start this one. And to be perfectly honest, there's no reason why I can't start it. I just haven't. And then this one I call the Pieces Afghan. I think I might have put it in the blog post, but I don't remember. Where I talk about I make my version of the granny square Afghan. I don't crochet, I knit. So I just knit squares, and then I'll eventually sew them all together to make a blanket. Kind of like same idea as the crocheted granny square. And then various others. This one is, oh, I have another Pieces Afghan right here. This one's going to be a while before I get to it because I'm going to have the yarn custom dyed because I can't find the colors I want. This one, use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. This one's not knitted. This one is going to be a quilt. And, yeah, one of these days I'll get around to cutting all the fabric. Temperature Afghan up here. I call it my mixed media Afghan, but what it's going to be is it's going to be panels of just certain stitches. And to me it's mixed media. Anyways, I think of it. This one is random acrylic 10-stitch. I have a lot of little balls of acrylic yarn and like leftovers from projects. So I'm going to do another 10-stitch blanket. I love the 10-stitch blanket, you guys. I really do. And then this one, baby yarn modified 10-stitch. If you follow my blogs, my wow, I can't talk today. My monthly knits posts, I've been knitting baby blankets out of Bernat baby or Bernat blanket yarn. And I just usually have a little bit left over, and I'm going to try to do a modified 10-stitch blanket out of that one. And once I have a lot of yarn, I don't know how big it's going to be. It may, if I can get it big enough to be like a little wrap, that would be cool. Page 5. I don't have anything on page 6 yet, but page 5 is my. Trying to block this. Wow, I'm horrible. Okay, it is my baby yarn, my Bernat baby yarn inventory, and blanket yarn, and I just have the colors and how many I have of each. I count down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I count down. That way, when I went through the first plum chutney one, I crossed it out. Now I only have 4. That's how it works for me. That makes sense to me. Alright, the next pages are my cotton yarn inventory, and as you can see, I have a bit I need to cross these two out. I just finished knitting these two up. But same thing under Mango Madness, 2-1. I have two very large skeins of it. Right here where it says PNC-B. The -B stands for if I just have a ball instead of big Bernat skeins or a cone of yarn. That's how I differentiate it. Because the amount of yarn on a cone and the amount of yarn on one of those big skeins gets me about the same amount of dishcloth, so I don't differentiate between them. Next one is my baby yarn scrap list. I like to knit my scrap in the order that I use it. I know that doesn't make sense and it sounds weird, but I like to do it. To me, it shows a progression of what I've used, which is also why I can't wait to do the cotton scrap GAN, because the cotton scrap GAN, with the exception of about 5 colors, and there's a story behind that one, I have the scrap from every single cotton dish, from every single color of cotton I've ever knitted with. So to me, it's a nice memory blanket of this is where I started, and look at just all the colors I've gone to, and I'm very excited to do it. Page 11 is just needle notes, the recommended sizes for the cotton yarn and for the baby yarn. And it's also where I'm going to make notes on the camo 10 stitch is being knit on size 10 or size 11 double points. And if that doesn't make sense why I'm knitting a blanket on double points, just look at the pattern. It's recommended. You can also use circulars and knit straight on them. And that's also the type of notes I'm going to be putting in here. It's like, hey, if you're doing this type of blanket, use this needle size and all that. And then the last page so far is my knitting priority list. This is the list I follow when I'm knitting in the month for the month. So I always try to get the baby blanket done first because I timed it, y'all. I can knit start to finish one of those baby blankets in 24 hours, and that is including 8 to 9 hours of sleep. So I can get that one done pretty quick, and then whatever cotton I have coned up for the month, I knit on that and until the month's over. And if I finish it, or if there's not enough left for a dishcloth, I do a scrubby, which is just a smaller square. And then if I've gotten through all the cotton, I go into what I call my luxury face cloth yarn, which is very soft, kind of baby yarn, and I just do smaller version of the dishcloth pattern. And my aunt loves these things. I'm not joking. She was kind of the inspiration for the whole line. And then if whatever ball of luxury yarn I'm working on, if I finish that, I work on the scrap GANs. And I can tell you, some months I'm lucky if I get the blanket done. Most of the time I do get to the cotton, and sometimes I do get through the cotton. So far this month, it is June 21st. I am already on luxury face cloths. I can't tell you how weird that is for me, because I'm usually not this far along on the priority list. And yes, starting July 1st, it'll go back to blanket first, get the blanket done, do some cotton. If I get through all the cotton, then I go. To me, it's how I keep my inventory building up, and it makes sense for me. Okay, I am at 14.5 minutes, and I think my setup is only good for 15 minutes, so I need to wrap this up. So that's how I have set up my little knitting insert, and it helps me. It's a nice place to jot down ideas and lists of stuff I want to make. If you're a knitter or a crocheter and you've made a video or a blog post about your setup, please share it, put the link down in the comments for me so I can watch it, and I'd love to do that. Okay, wrapping up. Everybody have a nice day. Bye.